Welcome everyone to the Ordinary Council meeting of the 8th of November for the Wellington Shire Council. Members of the public gallery should note that Council records and publishes Council meetings via YouTube to enhance the accessibility of Council meetings to the broader Wellington community. These recordings are also archived and may be published on Council's website for viewing by the public or used for publicity or information purposes. At the appropriate times during the meeting, members of the gallery may address the Council, at which time their image, comments or submissions will be recorded. Members of the public who are not in attendance at the Council meeting but who wish to communicate with the Council via the online web form should lodge their questions or comments early in the meeting to ensure that their submissions can be dealt with at the end of the meeting. Please could gallery visitors, councillors and invited online attendees ensure that mobile phones and other electronic devices are turned off or in silent mode for the duration of the meeting. Working together to make a difference, we listen and lead to provide quality services that improve life for all. Wellington Shire Council acknowledges our offices are located on the traditional lands of the Gunai-Kurnai Nation. We pay our deep respects to the elders past, present and future, and acknowledge their ongoing cultural and spiritual connections to their land and waters. We have no apologies for this meeting. Item 2.1, appointment of a temporary chair. If I could have someone to move that, please. Councillor Stevens, would you be able to turn on your microphone first?
Thank you. I would like to move that the Chief Executive Officer, David Morecambe, be appointed as temporary chair for this council meeting prior to the election of a mayor. And
someone to second that, Councillor Wood. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried, and I'll hand over to our deputy chair.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the public and members of the gallery. My role is to work through two agenda items, the setting of the term of council and the election of the mayor. But before I do, excuse me, it is customary to invite the outgoing mayor, Mary Invite, to say a few parting words in relation to your term. So I'll hand back to you as your last official speech, outgoing mayor.
Thank you, temporary chair. Look, firstly, thank you to our CEO, David Morecambe. He has been a great help to me in the role of mayor over the last year. He runs a great team, and we are very lucky to have a CEO such as David. So thank you very much for what you not only do for the mayor, but the councillors as well. And also thank you to our four general managers that always sit over here where the public can see. Clem, Chris, Arthur and Andrew. You are great help again to the councillors and what we need to do for the community, but you also have amazing teams. And Wellington is really the recipient of having such great people to deliver an environment for our residents to live and prosper. So please pass on thanks to your team members as well for what you do for the residents of Wellington Shire. Over the last year, Council has achieved a lot in looking after our community, but we have seen some challenges as well, such as the announcement of the early closure of the timber industry. It was hard for our community, but our community is very resilient and we actually got through that announcement. But we've also seen some exciting announcements. We had ministers fly down to East Sale and announce us as the first area for offshore wind in Australia. So we have had some problems that have come through, but we've also had some good things as well. We've also had our share of weather events, being fire and flood, and both in one day. But our community, again, with great help from our team in looking at emergency events, we're well prepared and the community has come through those weather events quite well. Recently, we announced the redevelopment of Aqua Energy, being our biggest project ever at $23 million. So it is our biggest in history. So well done, councillors, on doing that facility upgrade. The Middle of Everywhere is now a destination place for all to come and enjoy. We've had many events over the last year to showcase our beautiful part of Australia. Thank you to my Deputy Mayor, John Taddison, for his dedication and help in attending many events. Greatly appreciated. And thank you to all the councillors for having me as the representative for you for the last 12 months. It has been a great experience and I've thoroughly enjoyed the role of representing the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and perhaps a round of applause. Sorry, an old habits die hard. I should have said thank you, councillor, rather than thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, item 2.2 on the agenda is setting the term of office for the Mayor and to establish an office for Deputy Mayor. Just before I call on a councillor to move that motion, it may seem fairly self-evident that the term of the next Mayor and Deputy Mayor will go for the last year of this 4-year term of council, which finishes at the end of October with elections in November. However, from a good governance point of view, it's still appropriate for us to set the term and have that on our record. So with that said, we have a recommendation in front of you, councillors. Councillor Stevens.
Yes, thank you, Mr Temporary Chair. I'm happy to move the council resolve to establish an office of Deputy Mayor and to determine that the term of office of the Mayor and Deputy Mayor will be from 8th of November 2023 to the 26th of October 2024.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens. Seconder is Councillor Ripper. Does any councillor oppose that motion? I'm very glad of that because I wouldn't have known what to have done. Thank you, councillors. That councillor is that motion has been endorsed. Now for the election of Mayor, and I'll just again before I call for nominations. For those in the gallery and for those who may be watching this on our webcast, I'll just briefly outline the process for the election of Mayor, which also applies for the election of the Deputy Mayor, which the newly elected Mayor from the 9 councillors around me, one of those will actually conduct the Deputy Mayoral vote under very, very similar, if not the same process. So very shortly I'll call for nominations. A councillor can either be nominated by another councillor. If that's the case, I'll ask them if they accept. Or they can self-nominate. Depending on the number of candidates we have, if it's one candidate, that makes my life very easy from the point of view of voting. That councillor will be then asked to a formal motion for that councillor to become the Mayor. If there's 2, we enter into a voting process, and voting is done in council by show of hands. So with that said, what I would like to do now is call for or invite nominations for the office of Mayor, please. Councillor Wood.
Thank you. I'd like to nominate Councillor Ian Bye for the position of Mayor.
Councillor Bye, do you accept that nomination?
I do accept that nomination.
Thank you. Any other nominations, councillors? Councillor Tatterson.
Thank you, Mr CEO. I'd like to nominate myself as Mayor for the coming year.
Thank you, Councillor Tatterson. Any other nomination? Councillor Stevens.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Councillor Mackenzie for the position of Mayor for the next 12 months.
Thank you, Councillor Mackenzie. Do you accept that nomination?
Yes, Deputy Mayor, I accept that nomination. Acting Mayor, sorry.
You sacked me from acting chair to deputy mayor. We have 3 nominations. Councillors, any other nominations for the position of mayor? No, so councillors. Councillors, we have 3 nominations. We have Councillor Ian Bye, we have Councillor John Tatterson, and we have Councillor Marcus Mackenzie. What I'll now do is call for a show of hands. I'll call that in the order in which they were nominated. So I'll call votes for Councillor Bye first, votes for Councillor Tatterson second, and votes for Councillor Mackenzie third. Those votes will be formally recorded in our minutes, and I'll ask for a show of hands. So those councillors supporting Councillor... Sorry, Councillor Rossetti.
So I was just going to say, for the benefit of the gallery, to say that actually we're required by local government legislation to actually have an open vote where people are, whoever's here have to vote and have to put their hands up.
Thanks, Councillor Rossetti. Under our governance rules, we've adopted, which we've adopted, the voting has to be public. No, not at all. Start again. That's all right. For those councillors who would like to support for Mayor Councillor Ian Bye, please raise your hands. So going around the table, I have Councillor Crosley, Councillor Marr, Councillor Rossetti, Councillor Bye, and Councillor Wood. I have 5 votes. We recorded those. Councillors, we actually now have an absolute majority, but nonetheless I'll continue with the vote. For those for Councillor Tatterson, please raise your hands. We have Councillor Tatterson. And those who are voting for Councillor Mackenzie, please raise your hands. I have Councillor Ripper, Councillor Mackenzie and Councillor Stevens, which adds up to 9 in my math. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I would like to thank all those who nominated. I would like to very shortly formally congratulate. We have an absolute majority with 5 of the 9 councillors. I now seek a formal motion. Councillor Stevens.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Temporary Chair. I'm happy to move that Councillor Ian Bye be elected as Mayor for the 2023-24 period to 6 a.m. Saturday, the 26th of October 2024, the commencement of the Victorian Electoral Commission's declared 2024 Council General Election Day.
Thank you, Councillor Stevens. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Crosley. Does anyone oppose that motion? That motion not being opposed, the motion is carried. I would like to formally congratulate Mayor Ian Bye on Mayor for the last year of council term. And hand back to you, Mayor.
Thank you, CEO. I think you're back to that again. Thank you, councillors. I do enjoy the role as Mayor. For the last 2 years, it's been great to represent the community and also the other 8 councillors that are around this table. As a group, we all get along very well, and I think we do a lot of good work for the ratepayers or the residents of Wellington Shire, and I think that's really good to come out when some of our other councils and our neighbours don't do so much as good as us, but I think we do a fantastic job. We have some exciting things that are coming up. We've got the downgrading of ESSO with decommissioning. We've got the, as I said in my thank you speech for last year, we had the timber industry announcement. We also have the renewable energy proponents that will be announced by Christmas, and there's a lot of hard work to go to make sure we can get the best outcome for our community. So I thank you all again for trusting me to do the role, and I'll endeavour to do it the best result and make you all proud. So thank you very much. So we'll move on to the same process we now do for the Deputy Mayor. So I'll call on nominations for the Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, thank you.
Councillor Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to nominate Councillor Marr for the position of Deputy Mayor.
Councillor Marr, do you accept?
I do accept.
Do we have any other nominations? Councillor Mackenzie.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Ripper for Deputy Mayor.
Councillor Ripper, do you accept?
Yes, I accept, Mayor.
Is there any other nominations? In that case, as we did with the mayoral election, we'll now do a show of hands for a vote. And we will start with the first nominee, which was Councillor Marr. So those all in favour of Councillor Marr being Deputy Mayor, please raise your hands.
And I'm happy just to record around the table, Mayor. We have raising the hands Councillor Crosley, Councillor Marr, Councillor Rossetti, Councillor Bye, Councillor Stevens and Councillor Wood.
So that would be 6, and those in favour of Councillor Ripper, please raise your hands.
So just formally for the minutes, I have Councillor Ripper, Councillor Tatterson and Councillor Mackenzie.
On that note, with a 6-3 result, I would like to formally go to Gary first, but congratulations to Councillor Marr. So we can now do the formal bit.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'm pleased to move that Councillor Marr be elected as Deputy Mayor for the 2023-24 period to 6 a.m. Saturday, the 26th of October 2024, the commencement of the Victorian Electoral Commission's declared 2024 Council General Election Day.
And seconded by Councillor Crosley. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Councillor Marr, would you like to say some words?
I would like to thank everyone for your faith in me, and I certainly will look forward to supporting our Mayor in a future that is certainly going to be seeing some change, particularly with regard to the forthcoming offshore renewables and also the impacts upon our community with regard to the cost of living and so forth. But I certainly would like to support the Mayor in promoting the Wellington Shire as being a proactive and contemporary shire that is willing to engage with stakeholders and members of our community, as well as our local federal and state reps. So thank you everyone, and thank you Carmel.
I think we missed something back. We should have probably asked the outgoing Deputy Mayor if you'd like to say some words.
Thanks, Mayor Bai. Thanks and congratulations to Mayor Bai and Deputy Mayor Ma on your appointment for the next 12 months. During the last 12 months, it's been a privilege to serve as Deputy Mayor, and I do congratulate the Mayor for all his efforts that he's put in over the last 12 months, and really appreciate the support of the councillors during that time. And it's obviously it's a really challenging and interesting time with renewable energy and a lot of issues, particularly around affordability and housing and cultural heritage and management and relationships. So we look forward to the next 12 months, and congratulations to those on their appointments.
Now we'll carry on with the rest of the short agenda that we have tonight. Is there any declaration of conflicts of interest? No? Could I have someone please to move the confirmation of the minutes, item 4? Councillor Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that Council adopt the minutes and resolutions of the ordinary council meeting of the 17th of October 2023.
And seconded by Councillor Stevens. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Happy with that, Councillor Wood? Yes, thank you. Item 5, business arising from previous meetings, we have none. Acceptance of late or urgent items, we have none. Item 7, notices of a motion, we have none. Item 8, receiving of petitions or joint letters, we have none. Item 9, invited addresses, presentations or acknowledgements. No, I have a couple. I was lucky enough to be invited as the Mayor, and it was a real privilege to actually go out to the East Sale RAF base. And it was the laying up of the Queen's colours. And I had no idea of what that actually meant. It was an amazing ceremony to attend. For people that don't know, we have 2 training schools that are located at East Sale RAF Base. We have the Air Mission Training School and the #1 Flying Training School. Each of the different schools or squadrons all have a flag. They call that their colours. The flags are unique to each of the different ones, and for the councillors they might be able to see, these are blue but with a different emblem on them. And how significant these are is they actually get changed over every 25 years. It's quite amazing, the history. They come all the way back to when those squadrons or schools were started. What happens with the changing of the colours? They actually write to Queen Elizabeth when she was alive and actually request, yes, she was alive, request they need to change the colours. Queen Elizabeth then commissions those new flags or colours to be made. They have a ceremony over in England, and then the colours are actually sent out to where they are replacing the older colours. They arrived here on the day she actually died, which was an absolute coincidence, but something very special. They are the last colours to be commissioned by the Queen in Australia, are actually here at our RAF base at East Sale. They go through a ceremony. It's quite special, a full band. full parade. They had dignitaries from the Department of Defence from all around Australia come to do the laying up of the Queen's colours. The old colours are not just forgotten about. The old colours are taken down to Point Cook to a church and displayed there at that church forever. If they do deteriorate, they are then, of course, put back into a ground somewhere, but they are displayed at Point Cook. And the new colours, you cannot just walk up and touch these colours. You have to have white gloves on. They are very sacred to the organisation of the Department of Defence. They are put away in each of the training schools' quarters in a locked cabinet, so no one can actually touch those, and they're brought out for very important presentations. So it was quite exciting to be at there once I knew what it was actually for and how they went about the history of the colours. So well done to the Department of Defence on how they actually do treat some of their history and especially the laying up of the colours. So a very special event. The second acknowledgement I'd like to do, I'll just rip this open. There we go. Someone to my left is going to act very excited. It's actually for Councillor Rossetti. It's actually a 15-year achievement that comes from the Municipal Association of Victoria, or the MAV, to recognise that he has been a councillor for 15 years. Not a lot of people get these sort of awards. It is a show of dedication to the residents of the Wellington Shire, that not only does he want to reside here, but he also wants to make a difference with being on council. So congratulations to 15 years of dedication as a councillor, and well received.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. It is a great privilege to be able to serve your community in many ways, and whether it's on council or being on the local footy club board, or indeed many council staff actually work in their jobs and roles because they actually want to serve their community. 15 years has gone terribly quickly, and a lot has passed through council over those times. But it's been a great experience being able to share at the table with people who are also like-minded and wanting to serve their community. We are very lucky, as you've made mention many times, that we've actually always had a pretty stable council, and a lot of councils can't say that. So we've managed to achieve a lot over, certainly over the time I've been on council, but I know previous councils prior to me have also been able to do a lot for our local community. So it's terrific being here. I really enjoy being in the argy-bargy with this council, with previous councils, with council staff who look after things. Because we're all here for the same reason. We might have slightly different ways of being able to articulate it, or slightly different pathways, but the fact is we're all here to do things for our communities. And this recognition is lovely. Thank you, Mayor. But it really is a privilege to be able to be in this chair. Thank you.
Well done.
Off to the pool room.
Straight to the pool room, yes. Item 10, questions on notice. We have none. Item 11, any delegates reports? I don't think we have, no. Item 12.1, Assembly of Councils report. Someone to move that, please. Councillor Marr.
I move that Council note and receive the attached Assembly of Councillor records for the period 9th of October 2023 to the 29th of October 2023. And
seconded by Councillor Wood. Is that motion opposed? If not, that motion is carried. Happy with that, Councillor Marr?
Just to let everyone know that the 10th of October there was a strategic land use planning project review group, and on the 17th of October it was a councillor meeting, and if anyone wants to see what we do, you can have a look at the topics that are listed there, and you'll see the officers that are also involved.
Thank you, Councillor Barr. Is there any online comments, Mr CEO? No? And there is no one in the gallery, so I will close the meeting at 5:24. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations.